D-BT09 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days. Alright then, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading game and proceeding. Here we are in the main menu, onto the edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm making one for is a Stoicheia's Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, D-BT06. And I'm going to be using this Stoicheia's Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, D-BT04 deck as the base of the deck I'm going to build. Okie dokie, let's begin. Selecting deck, entering edit deck, and off we go. And here we are in the edit deck menu, and like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building today's deck profile video is a Stoicheia's Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon deck made up of cards only available up until D-BT06. So let's begin. First, let's go to the filter settings and to pack, show only cards from D-Booster 1, Genesis of the 5 Greats. D-Booster 2, A Brush with the Legends. D-Booster 3, Advance of Intertwined Stars. D-Booster 4, Awakening of Chakrabarti. D-Booster 5, Triumphant Return of Brave Heroes. Festival Collection 2021. Festival Collection 2022. Roll Pack number 1. And last but not least, D-Booster 6, Blazing Dragon Reborn. Applying filter, and now let's start off with the deck's Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s of this deck, we are playing the Ride deck, Grade 3, Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon. Skill, auto as a Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, cost, Counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, perform all of the following according to the number of attacks you made this turn. 3 or more attacks, draw a card. 4 or more attacks, choose 2 of your opponent's rear guards and retire them. 5 more attacks. Until end of battle, this unit gets plus 10,000 power, and when your opponent would call from their hand to Guardian Circle, they must call 3 or more at the same time. So for Flagburg Dragon, he's the main Grade 3 to ride his deck. With his skill, when attacking the opponent's Vanguard and paying the cost, you can activate a number of abilities depending on how many attacks you made in that turn, both Vanguard and Rearguard attacks included. So, if the conditions of this skill are met, you have the chance to either draw cards, retire opponent's rear guards, or to give your Vanguard more power and to restrict your defensive options. And alrighty, the Grade 3, Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, we have 4 in the deck, 1 in the Ride deck, and 3 in the main deck. Gonna leave it that way. Next up, the Grade 3, Blue Artillery Dragon, Inlet Pulse Dragon. Skills, first skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of battle, this unit attacked a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If it was the first battle of this turn, and your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost and paid, stand this unit. Second skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of your turn, if the total number of attacks this turn is 4 or more, cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost and paid, draw a card. So for Inlet Pulse Dragon, it's a support card for the Flagburg Dragon decks. With his skills, the first skill. After attacking, if the conditions of the first skill are met, and you pay the cost, you can restand your Inlet Pulse Dragon for another attack. And the second skill, at the end of the turn, if the conditions of the second skill are met, not only do you get to build up your soul for later Soul Blast, but to also restock your hand with more cards. And alright, the Grade 3, Blue Artillery Dragon, Inlet Pulse Dragon, we have 3 in the deck. Putting 1 more inside, playing 4, that should do it. And next up in the deck's Grade 3 lineup, we are playing... Let's see, we are playing next in the Grade 3 lineup. Here we go, the Grade 3, Empyrean Blue Dragon, Shelling Cannon Dragon. Skills, first skill, auto from the back row center rear guard. At the beginning of your battle phase, if your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, and your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, cost, Counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, until end of turn, this unit can attack from the back row and gets plus 10,000 power. Second skill, continuous, from the back row, center, rear guard. If you would move or swap this unit during your main phase, you can also move it within the same row. So for Shelling Cannon Dragon, another support card for the Flagburg Dragon deck. With his skills, the first skill, as long as you've got Shelling Cannon in the back row, center, rear guard circle, and the conditions of the skill are met, and you pay the cost, you can then give your Shelling Cannon Dragon plus 10,000 power and make him able to attack from the back row, giving you more attacks to work with. And the second skill, just by having him in the back row, center, rear guard circle, whenever you wish to swap the positions of Shelling Cannon Dragon, it can be done with cards in the same row besides just the same column, thus giving you more options for moving Shelling Cannon Dragon around to help better maintain your formation. And okie dokie, the Grade 3 Empyrean Blue Dragon, Shelling Cannon Dragon, we are putting 4 into the deck. 4 is good. And with that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 3 lineup. Now it's time to get on to the deck's Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s in this deck, we are playing the Grade 2 Ride deck, Ascendance Assault. Skills, first skill, auto. You may pay to reveal a Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, or Inroad Shooter from your hand for this cost. When this unit is rolled upon, cost Soul Blast 1 other than this card. If the cost is paid, call this card to the rear guard circle. Second skill, auto is a rear guard once per turn. When your other rear guard attacks a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, cost Counter Blast 1. If the cost is paid, stand this unit. So for Ascendance Assault, he's the main Grade 2 to ride in this deck with its skills. The first skill, when written on the top of, after paying the cost, you'll be able to superior call Ascendance Assault from your soul to your rear guard to serve as a potential front row attacker. And the second skill, when the conditions of the second skill are met and paying the cost, you can restand your Ascendance Assault for another attack, giving you more attacks to work with and to help you pressure or finish off your opponent, or to simply add more attacks to help you activate Flagburg Dragon's skill. And affirmative, the Grade 2 Ascendance Assault. We have 4 in the deck, 1 in the right deck, 3 in the main deck. We're gonna leave it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Aggress Blue Dragon. Skill, auto as a rear guard once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attack the rear guard. If your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, cost Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, stand this unit. So for Aggress Blue Dragon, another support card for the Flagburg Dragon deck with skill. After attacking your rear guard while the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, you can then restand your Aggress Blue Dragon for another attack, giving you more attacks to work with for pressuring the opponent or to help you add up the attacks to meet the requirements of your Flagburg Dragon skill. And confirm the Grade 2 Aggress Blue Dragon. We have 4 in the deck, taking 1 out, only playing 3. 3 is enough. And next up, the Grade 2 Heavy Strike Brave Shooter. We're not playing this card anymore, taking it out, but thank you for everything. And with that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 2 lineup. Now it's time to get on to the deck's Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s in this deck, we are playing Ride deck, Grade 1. Inroad Shooter. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is rolled upon by Ascendance Assault, call this card to the rear guard circle. Second skill, continuous as a rear guard. If your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, or Ascendance Assault, this unit gets intercept and 2,000 power. So for Inroad Shooter, he's the main Grade 1 to ride this deck. With skills, the first skill, just by riding the correct card on top of him, you can then superior call Inroad Shooter from your soul to the rear guard to serve as a potential front row attacker or back row booster. And the second skill, as long as the conditions of the second skill are met, your Inroad Shooter then can serve as a potential 10,000 point attacker for the front row, 10,000 point booster for the back row, or a 5,000 point shield intercept from the front row. And alright, the Grade 1 Inroad Shooter, we have 1 in the right deck, adding 3 more, playing 4, 1 in right deck, 3 in main deck. That sounds good. Next up, the Grade 1 Planner Prevent Dragon Sentinel Perfect Guard. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. Second skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand is 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So for Planner Prevent Dragon, a perfect guard for the Stoicheia Nation, like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with, and discarding one card from your hand, you can block one enemy attack. But he also features an ability unique to all D standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with, while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Planet Perfect Dragon a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. And alrighty then, the great one, Planet Perfect Dragon. We have 4 in the deck, taking 1 out, only playing 3. And next in the great one lineup, we're putting in the great one, Blitz Order, Elementaria Sanctitude. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel in the deck. Second skill, Continuous. You may only have 1 Elementaria Sanctitude in the deck. Third skill, Order. If your opponent's Vanguard has triple drive, this ability can be played without paying the cost. Play the cost of, discard a card from your hand if your Vanguard is grade 3 or less. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. Remove this card. So for Elementaria Sanctitude, he's the Blitz Order version of the Perfect Guard. Like any other Perfect Guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When played and discarding 1 card from hand, you can block 1 enemy attack. But ideally, Elementaria Sanctitude is best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in having a Vanguard of triple drive, for example a grade 4 or Vanguards who increase their drive checks by skill or card effect. Against such opponents, Elementaria Sanctitude then can serve as a potential no-cost perfect guard. Okay, the great one, Elementaria Sanctitude. We are putting 1 into the deck. There we go. Next up in the deck's great one lineup, we are playing, let's see, the great one, Conspiring Mutant, add Mantis. We're not playing him anymore, taking her out, but thank you for everything at Mantis. Next up, the great one, High Rake Burst Dragon. We're not gonna play this card anymore also as well, so again, thank you for everything, taking him out. And next up, the great one, Prized Trident. Skill, auto as a rear guard. When your other unit attacks, if it is the 5th battle this turn, cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, countercharge 1. So for Prized Trident, a pretty good card to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks, especially for Flagburg. With its skill, as long as the conditions of the skill are met, not only do you get to build up your soul for later Soul Blast, but to also refund your Counter Blast for later skills. And okie dokie, the great one, Prized Trident. We have 3 in the deck, putting 1 more inside, playing 4. 4 is enough. Next up for the great one lineup, we are playing, how about for the great ones, we play this one, the great one, Performing Petal Dianta. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle from hand, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost, counterblast 1. If the cost is paid, choose a grade 3 or less card from your drop zone and call to rearguard. Second skill, continuous as a rearguard. During your turn, if you have 2 or more grade 1 or less rearguards in your back row, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for Dianta, she's a pretty good card to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks, especially for Flagburg. With her skills, the first skill, by calling her to the rear guard while the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, you can search your drop zone for any grade 3 or less card to call to the rear guard to serve as a potential front row attacker, back row booster, or a rear guard whose skill you wish to take advantage of later in the game. And the second skill, as long as the conditions of the second skill are met, your Dianta then can serve as a potential 13,000 point attacker for the front row or 13,000 point booster for the back row. And affirmative, the great one, Performing Petal Dianta. We are putting 2 into the deck. 2 is enough, and with that, we just about covered the deck's grade 1 lineup. Now it's time to get on the deck's grade 0 lineup. For the grade 0s of this deck we are playing, Rise Deck, grade 0, Officer Cadet, Heracles. Skill, auto. When this unit is ruled upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Heracles, he's the starting unit of this deck. Like any other starting unit in the D standard format, he features the same skill and activation. When written on the top of, if you're the second to go in the game, draw a card. And confirm, the grade 0 Officer Cadet Heracles starting unit, we have 1 in the right deck. Leaving it that way, the grade 0 lineup is done. Now it's time to go to the trigger lineup. for the triggers of this deck, we are playing the Grade 0 Source Dragon Deity of Blessings plus Favor Overtrigger. Skill, trigger, additional effect. Draw a card, choose one of your units, it gets +1 critical until end of turn. All of your front row units gets plus 10,000 power. If your damage zone has the same number of cards as your opponents or more, choose a card from your damage zone and heal it. So for Blessed Favor, he's the Overtrigger for the Stoicheia Nation. Like any other Overtrigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but he also features an ability unique to him alone. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, not only do you get to draw 1 card, you can also give any unit in your field +1 critical, Vanguard or Rearguard, your front row gets plus 10,000 power, and as long as the conditions are met, you can heal 1 damage. More or less making Blessed Favor all 4 D standard format triggers into 1 card. Draw trigger, critical trigger, front trigger, and heal trigger all in 1. And alrighty, the Grade 0 Source Dragon Deity of Blessings, Blessed Favor Overtrigger, we have 1 in the deck. 1 is enough to go on. So, the Grade 0 Abyss Temptation, critical trigger. Not playing this card anymore, taking it out. And in its place, we are putting in the Grade 0. There we go, the Grade 0 Dual Pressure Dragon, critical trigger. We are putting 3 into the deck. 3 is good. Next up, the Grade 0 Aspiring Maiden Alana, critical trigger. Skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle isn't boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Alana, she's a powerful critical trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks. With her skill, after boosting attack, regardless if attack hits or not, as long as you don't mind moving Alana from your rear guard into your soul, not only do you get to build up your soul for later soul blast, but to also give your remaining attackers in the field, Vanguard or rear guard, a little extra power to work with. And okay, the Grade 0 Aspiring Maiden Alana critical trigger, we have 4 in the deck. 4 is good, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 0 Serene Maiden Lena draw trigger. Skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. So for Lena, she's a powerful draw trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks. With her skill, when used to guard with while the conditions of the skill are met, your Lena then can serve as a potential 10,000 point shield on her own. And affirmative, the Grade 0 Serene Maiden Lena draw trigger. We have 4 in the deck. Leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 0 Elegy Pixie heal trigger. Not playing her anymore, taking her out, but thank you for everything. In her place, we are putting in the Grade 0 Zysopolia Fairy Asher heal trigger. Skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, if your opponent's attacking unit has attacked 2 or more times this turn, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. Active if its battle is its second attack this turn or more. So for Asher, a powerful heal trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks. Her skill, when used to guard with while the conditions of the skill are met, your Asher then can serve as a potential 25,000 point shield on her own. Ideally, Asher is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in having restanding effects for their Vanguard or rear guard. So for Zysopolia Fairy Asher, we are putting 2 into the deck. 2 is fine. Next up, in the trigger lineup, we're putting in the Grade 0 Alchemic Hedgehog Ult heal trigger. Skill, auto, when this unit is put in the Guardian Circle. If the attacking unit's critical is 2 or greater, and its critical is increased by a non-trigger effect ability, or its original critical is 2 or greater, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. So for Alchemic Hedgehog, another powerful heal trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks. With his skill, when used to guard with while the conditions of the skill are met, your Alchemic Hedgehog then can serve as a potential 25,000 point shield on his own. Ideally, Alchemic Hedgehog is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in increasing their attacking unit's critical, Vanguard or rear guard by skill or card effect. And alright, the Grade 0 Alchemic Hedgehog heal trigger. We are putting in 2. 2 is good. And with that, the deck has been built. Cardfight explained. Let's just save the deck. Overwrite deck being built. Clicking yes. And for the cards in this deck, we are playing 4 Grade 3 Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon. 4 Grade 3 Blue Artillery Dragon, Inlet Pulse Dragon. 4 Grade 3 Empyrean Blue Dragon, Shelling Cannon Dragon. 3 Grade 2 Aggress Blue Dragon. 4 Grade 2 Ascendance Assault. 3 Grade 1 Planet Prevent Dragon. 1 Grade 1 Elementaria Sanctitude. 4 Grade 1 Inroad Shooter. 4 Grade 1 Prize Trident. 2 Grade 1 Performing Pedal Dianta. And 1 Grade 0 Officer Cadet Heracles, starting unit. And for the triggers in this deck, we are playing 1 Over Trigger, Bless Favor. 7 Critical Triggers. 4 Draw Triggers. 4 Heal Triggers. And if that, the deck's been built, Cardfight explained. Now it's time to test out the deck, so let's leave the edit deck menu, returning to main menu, going to fight menu, to CPU fight, selecting the deck I just built, the Stoicheia's Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, D-BT06 deck. Selecting deck, and now choosing the opponent. I'm gonna test that deck out on Okie dokie, gonna test it out on Harushi Nagawa, normal difficulty. And the battle begins. Let's get started. Here we are in the fight. We're gonna decide who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors and rock, I lose, going second. Drawing our starting hands, I got 1 Trident, 1 Inlet Pulse, a Shelling Cannon, a Critical, and a Dianta. Oh, that's pretty good. Just holding on to all normal units, just redrawing the triggers, redraw. Perfect guard, nice! Now my opponent's going first. She's riding the Grade 1 beneath the Brilliant Light Thegria. End of their turn, my turn. I draw! I'm riding Inroad Shooter from the right deck. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding. Let's see with Dianta's skill, I can Superior Call Shelling Cannon from the drop zone, so I'll hold on to the draw trigger for defense. I'm just gonna discard Shelling Cannon, discard, and ride Inroad Shooter. Skill of Heracles, draw 1 card. And draw! I drew a heal trigger. Not good, but not bad, I guess, so that's it for my main phase. On to battle phase. Inroad Shooter attacks the Vanguard. 8k to 8k. The attack goes through. Drive check. Draw trigger. Okay, I guess I drew another Trident, powered Vanguard. And the attack goes through. Bang, bang, bang. 1 damage. No trigger, safe. And that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. My opponent's riding the Grade 2 Harsh Training Thegria. 3-grade skill, revealing the Grade 3 order. And nothing happens. She calls Drilling Angel and Nanaful and K. Nanaful attacks the Vanguard. I'm gonna block the first attack, let the remaining 2 go through, so I guard of a draw trigger, Lena. 13k, guard. And attack blocked. Kachink, safe. Now here comes Thegria, 10k. No guard, taking the attack. Drive check. No trigger, order card. So safe, 1 damage. Ow. Damage check. Critical trigger. Pretty good. All affects the Vanguard. And power increase added. I can block the remaining attack. K boost Drilling Angel, 18k. So that's 5k to guard. I'll guard with another draw trigger. Lena, guard, 23k. Attack blocked. Kachink, safe. End of my opponent's turn, my turn. Stand and draw. Yes, a Persona ride. I ride from my right deck, Ascendance Assault. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding 1 Prize Trident, discard and ride. Inroad Shooter skill, Superior Call from the Soul. Superior Call, Inroad Shooter to the rear guard, plus 2000 power. Next I call... I think... that's it, so just going straight to battle phase. Vanguard to Vanguard, 10k. The attack goes through, drive check. No trigger, ascends assault. And so... bang! 1 damage, damage check. No trigger, safe. Next, Inroad Shooter attacks the rear guard. The rear guard Drilling Angel, 10k, 10k. The attack goes through, and bang! 1 less rear guard to worry about. End of my turn, my opponent's turn. My opponent rides the grade 3, one who walks the path of light, Thegria. Grade 2 Thegria skill, revealing nothing. Skill to Vanguard, Counter Blast, and Superior Call Bedivere. Battle phase, rear guard to Vanguard. Okie dokie, I'm gonna guard this attack with holding on to back row. Then I think I'm gonna intercept with Inroad Shooter. Intercept, 15k, attack blocked. And ka-chink, safe. Vanguard, rear guard to Vanguard with K skill, another 5000, 23k. Gonna let go through, no guard. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, Trident. Now it's the Vanguard, 13k. No guard, taking it. Drive check. First, no trigger, Painkiller Angel, safe. Second check. Draw trigger, lucky. Hand restocked, power added, so 1 damage. Not a full skill. Here it comes. Damage check. Heal trigger, nice. I can heal, healing 1 and power to Vanguard. That was close. End of my opponent's turn. My turn, stand and draw. I ride from the right deck, Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding. This is a tough choice for me. I think I'm gonna discard 1 Ascendance Assault. Yep, discarding 1 Ascendance Assault. Discard and ride Flagship Flagburg Dragon. Ascendance Assault skill for my soul. I reveal Flagburg Dragon in my hand. Reveal, and then Superior Call Assault to the rear guard. And call. Next, I'm calling Inlet Pulse Dragon to the rear guard. Call. Then I call to the rear guards. Performing Pedal Dianta. Call. Dianta's skill. Counter Blast. Superior Call 1 grade 3 or less from the drop zone. I'm Superior Calling the grade 3 Empyrean Blue Dragon, Shelling Blue Dragon to the center rear guard circle. Then I'm calling to the rear guard. 1 Prize Trident. That should be enough. Yep, that should do it. Let's get on to the battle phase. My rear guard, Shelling Cannon Dragon skill. Counter Blast 1, he gains the ability to attack from the back row, plus 10,000 power. Next up, Inlet Pulse Dragon, unboosted, attacks. Attacking the rear guard, hold on. Nope, attacking the Vanguard, 13k to 13k. Intercept, the attack is blocked. No worries. Now, here comes Inlet Pulse Dragon's skill. Since it's the first attack this turn, I Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, and restand Inlet Pulse. Next up, my Ascent Assault attacks the rear guard, not a full unboosted, 10k. The attack goes through, and Boom! One less rear guard to worry about. Now, here comes, boosted by Prize Trident, Inlet Pulse Dragon attacks the Vanguard, 21,000 power. My opponent guards with a draw trigger, plus 5,000 shield, 23k, attack blocked. Next, my Shelling Cannon Dragon attacks the Vanguard, 23k. My opponent guards with a critical, no worries. And now, Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon attacks the Vanguard. My Trident skill, into the soul. And counter charge. Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon skill, counter blast 1. Draw a card, retiring rear guards, and power the Vanguard. Guard restriction. The attack goes through. Twin drive, first check. Over trigger, nice! I power the Vanguard. Critical the front row. No, power the front Vanguard. Critical the Vanguard. Power the front row and heal 1 damage. I got a heal in my hand. Healing 1. 2 damage to the opponent. Second check. Heal trigger. But cannot heal. But nothing left. Just give power to Vanguard. 2 damage to the opponent. And boom! Damage 1. Heal trigger. Ah, so lucky. Healing 1. Power added. And second check. Draw trigger. Ah, double trigger. And they're all beneficial to him. Her. And that's the end of my turn. Inlet Pulse skill into soul. And draw card. I drew another Shelling Cannon, huh? My opponent Persona rides. Nope, she crossed Persona rides to one who blooms the Dark Diagra. Calling the rear guard get 2s and Nanafold. And K. Skill of the Vanguard. Retire 2 rear guards, and 2 of my rear guards are out of the game. Not good. Calling 2 painkillers. Vanguard to Vanguard, 21,000. No guard taking the attack. Drive check. Ah, another heal trigger. Come on, so lucky. She's back to 2 damage. Second check. Ah, critical. That's 4 triggers in a row. Come on. 2 damage to me. Here it comes. Ah. Damage check first. No trigger. Flagburg. Second check. Critical trigger. Better than nothing. All effects to Vanguard. Okay. Skill of Painkiller. And draw more cards. Vanguard skill, restanding Dark Thegria. Dark Thegria attacks the Vanguard, 23k, I guard with. Asher, guard, skill activated, plus 15,000 shield. 48k, over trigger to pass, since your Vanguard only has 1 drive. Yep, over trigger to pass. No trigger, safe, the attack is blocked. And ka-chink. Rear guard to Vanguard, 51k. I guard with Alchemic Hedgehog and guard. Triple guard, that should do it. Now hold on, I think I need to think about this better. 2 heals, 3 heals out of the deck. I won't have much opportunities to heal. My opponent only has 2 damage. There's a chance I won't be able to finish them off next turn, so better block my damage early. Yep, guarding with all the heals and criticals in my hand. Guard. 58k, attack blocked. And ka-chink, safe. Painkiller skill, she draws a card. And that's the end of my opponent's turn. My turn, stand and draw. I Persona Ride, Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon. There we go, Persona Ride. Draw and plus power, and next I'm calling, 1 Ascends Assault to the front row, calling, and calling 1 Inlet Pulse Dragon, call, and calling Diantha to the rear guard. call. Not gonna activate Dianta's skill. That should be enough. On to battle phase. First up, Inlet Pulse. My rear guard shelling cannon skill, Counter Blast 1, Counter Blast, gains the ability to attack from the back row and can attack from the plus 10,000 power and can attack from the back row. Okay, so then Inlet Pulse Dragon attacks the Vanguard. 23k. Not gonna activate my Ascend Assault skill. He guards with a heal. 28k. Attack blocked. Now here in the Pulse's skill, Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, and Restand. Next up, one more time, Inlet Pulse attacks the Vanguard. 23k. Not activating the skill. My opponent guards for critical again. 28k. Attack blocked. Now, Shelling Cannon attacks the Vanguard, 23k. Not activating the skill. Another critical. Ah, come on, he blocked 3 attacks in a row. The attack fails. Now boosted by Dianta, my Ascendant Assault attacks the Vanguard, 28k. The attack goes through, and bang! 1 damage, damage check, no trigger, safe. Here it comes. Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon attacks the Vanguard, 23k. Skill activated. Counter Blast 1. And now, draw a card, retire rear guard, power the Vanguard, and guard restriction added. The attack goes through. Twin Drive, first check. Critical trigger, nice, just what I needed. All effects to the Vanguard. There we go, and the second check. No trigger, but Aggress Blue, I can use this, so... Boom! 2 damage. First check. No trigger, order card, safe. Second check. No trigger, perfect guard, safe. And another less card to worry about. End of turn, Inlet Pulse's skill into the soul and draw 1 card. I drew a perfect guard, alright, just what I needed. No Persona Rides, safe. My opponent calls Drilling Angel and calls nothing else. Battle phase, Vanguard to Vanguard. I need Counter Blast, so no guard. Drive check first. Ah, draw trigger, lucky. All effects to Drilling Angel. And second check. No trigger, perfect guard. Alright, so here it comes. 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger, tried it. I could use that card. Angel the Vanguard. No guard, taking it. Damage check. No trigger, inroad shooter, not another good card. End of my opponent's turn, my turn, stand and draw. Ah, trigger, come on. Skipping to main phase, I call Aggress Blue Dragon to the rear guard, calling. And I'm calling Aspiring Maiden Alana to the rear guard, calling. That's all for the main phase, on to battle phase. My Shelling Cannon skill, Counter Blast 1. He gains the ability to attack from the back row. First, Aggress Blue Dragon, unboosted, attacks the rear guard Drilling Angel. The attack goes through and slack. 1 less rear guard to worry about. Aggress Blue's skill, after attacking your rear guard, Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, and Restand. Now, my boosted by Alana, Aggress Blue attacks the Vanguard, 14k. Not activating the skill. My opponent guards the Drilling Angel, 18k, attack blocked. I'm not too worried. Now, not gonna activate Alana's skill. Next, boosted by Dianta, Ascends Assault attacks the Vanguard, 23k. He guards with a heal trigger, 28k, attack blocked. No worries, got 2 more attacks to go. Now, Shelling Cannon Dragon attacks the Vanguard, 23k. Not activating the skill. My opponent guards with an over trigger, sweet! 1 over trigger out of the deck, 1 less card to worry about. Now for the final attack. My Flagburg Dragon attacks the Vanguard. Skill activated. Counter Blast 1. Counter Blast. Draw card, nothing to retire, plus powered Vanguard, guard restriction added. The attack goes through, twin drive, first check. No trigger, perfect guard, not too bad. Second check. No trigger, great 3, but my attack goes through, so 1 damage. Boom! Damage check. No trigger, 6 damage, I win. Huh. That was a pretty okay fight. I got to try the new cards and they worked pretty well in this deck. So I got win, double trigger, attack 100,000 more power, attack 5 more times in 1 turn, drew an over trigger, did a persona ride, 8 turns passed, did a superior call, retired 5 opposing units, and drew 3 more times in 1 turn. I got 3150 DP, total 34,525 DP, pressing A to go next, leaving the fight and returning to the fight menu. Leaving the fight menu, back to main menu, and off to the edit deck menu. And with that, I finished building the deck, explaining the card effects, and I just finished testing the deck out in front of you. So first I want to say is, thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you'll show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that I say, goodbye and